Well, hello there. I'd like to welcome you to a interesting episode. What? Well, I do declare. No, let's keep going. Now I'm in it. I'm in it. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Today's episode is coming at you a little sooner than expected. A little more southernly. I am Colonel Sanders than I expected. But today I'm going to be talking to you about how money does not and cannot buy you true happiness. Don't you like hearing advice from someone who's so po they can't even afford the R? Like consonants are too expensive these days? Yeah. Now, first off, let me just say, I have the bow tie from The Good Place. Ted Danson wore this. That's the kind of money I have. No, that's like literally something you got off of eBay and you just show off in your arcade because it's kind of something people might know. No, but I don't want to ruin the illusion. So, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Finger licking good. Another fun fact, when you have enough money, you can buy the kind of body that I have. Yeah, no, that's money well. For example, I personally wore this exact same outfit in the 300th JLS video, as you can see here, as Lee. Welcome everyone to the final Justin Levick Show. I think you mean I wore that, and even though I was much smaller then, I still wore it pretty good. I wore it pretty good. Now, that being said, this is tighter than a big boy's britches. Can we just stop all this now, please? Please? Please. Yes. All right, here we go. Better. Finally, something that lets me breathe a little bit in my full-figured self. I'm not small anymore. Welcome back. Again, apologize. Not sure what that was supposed to be. Like the southern hillbilly gentleman dude? No, that would make Shug. And we've all had a Shug. It was in the 90s, Death Row Records. You definitely don't fit the profile. Although he did have money. So I want to make another episode real quick because I've noticed something, in the 43 years I've been on this earth that is a little alarming for people like myself who kind of always had dreams and aspirations of big things like, I'm going to become an actor, or I'm going to own like a big mansion, or I don't know. I won't be single in my 40s. I think most people can relate to the first couple. It's kind of rando on the third, but I, as someone who grew up poor, like food stamps, free lunches poor, Popo. No, wait, Popo? I always thought money did equal happiness. And when I heard like rich people say it doesn't, I'm like, oh, cool. Of course you say that. Because you have it, but I'm struggling for this 5-cent Tootsie Roll at the corner store. Yeah, I think you just related to more Americans than you've ever related to before with that. Yeah. The thing is, I've pretty much lived in every scenario I can think of. I've lived in my car. I've lived with my parent. I've lived with other person's parents. I've lived with drug addicts. I've had my own place where I didn't have a bedroom. I've had my own place where I had a bedroom. I've had my own place where I had a bedroom, but it was super tiny. And now I've had the place that I have right now, which is the biggest I've ever had by myself. And the one thing that I can really tell you is you can pretty much smash anywhere. Like if you just have a countertop and you find the right one, bro, it's on. More space only matters if you have people. Like, I've had more people over in one of my smaller places than I've had in this place. And it's kind of an eye opener to the fact that money doesn't truly buy you happiness, because I have 2 bedrooms, 1,100 square feet. I have my own arcade room, and yet if people aren't coming over, that room is basically desolate. What? He knows the word desolate? Wait, hold on. Hey Google, what does desolate mean?
This is the definition of desolate, of a place uninhabited and giving an impression of bleak emptiness.
Shit. Back in my old place in Washington, it was 600 square feet, and I had all my arcade machines in the same room. And when people came over, it felt more full. However, people didn't come over. So even then, I didn't need an extra room for arcade machines. I could have it in the exact same dining room area, and it was still just as poppin' as having a whole separate room that quite literally does not get used or turned on or anything if no one comes over. And I think that's kind of what people mean by money doesn't buy happiness. I still think we just have too much money then, because there's, money has to buy happiness. Money buys jet skis. More and more I've thought about it, like if I won the Powerball or something, yes, I would buy like a giant plot of land. I would build my own custom house that I've already, drawn up as my own design, but ultimately it would be the same as this place. It would have a bunch of rooms that are pretty much never used unless people come over. I mean, like, what's the point in having like a custom man cave arcade or theater room if you're mostly spending the time by yourself? You're going to end up sitting there like, oh, well, am I going to power up this whole arcade with a bar and all these alcoholic drinks I don't even like, and TVs and music and neons and all this so that I can go play a video game I played like 1,100 times by myself? No. You're just gonna be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna sit in my fucking living room and binge watch Stranger Things or whatever. After you walk around the entire mansion and just jerk it everywhere, and you're like, well, I've already done it all. What do I do now? What's the point? I love how far I've come in life as far as my ability to keep a job, earn money, gain respect in work and everything else that I've been able to do to make enough money as just a guy who has a high school education, and move from literally living with my ex-girlfriend's parents to getting my own place, or before that, living with some crackheads, and then getting my own place, and then getting a bigger place, and then maybe a smaller place, but then getting a place of my own that's big. It's great, but again, it's about what is it all if no one comes over or spends time with me. Like, having a big TV or a theater room is great, but if you're just watching it by yourself, why would you do all that? Oh, I'm sorry. What was the episode name? Ugh, life is fucked and just why try? That's just something I've come to realize as someone who grew up poor and really just wanted, like, I mean, I grew up thinking if I had one arcade machine in my house, I was rich. Like, squad goals or whatever. And I got one and it was great. And, when you got something new, your friends come over and that's awesome. Um, but then, like, it just becomes normal. I don't know. I definitely am getting that vibe that money doesn't buy happiness. Like, for instance, like a year ago, almost a year ago, I bought a one wheel. Wait, you bought a unicycle? Huh, you are a clown. You're an ass clown. Tiny was right the whole time.
Fucking ass clown.
One wheel is like a skateboard that's electronic and motorized and stuff. It was $3,000, and I didn't really have $3,000, but my brother-in-law rides one. The only guy I know here in Idaho rides one, and it's a good, fun way to get around. And I sucked terribly at riding skateboards when I was a kid. I always fall off a curb and just eat shit, and so I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And I did, and I bought one, and I got hurt. You? Shocker. But after my torn ligament in my knee and my broken ribs healed, I got back on that thing and I kept going. I did 400 miles in 40 days, and it became such a fun way to get around. But did that mean it equaled happiness? No, because as fun as it is to roll around and scoot through neighborhoods and speed up and do some shit and like, ooh, I've gained some skills juggling, which I can definitely do, and no one is impressed by. It's one of those things like arcade machines and arcade games that's funner with people. So yeah, at the end of the day, was it worth the money? I think so. I think it's definitely given me some happiness, but I'm also like, yeah, should I? Yeah, why? Just like I am with any. Should I go into the arcade and play some Big Buck Hunter today? Yeah, why? Money doesn't necessarily mean happiness. I mean, a jet ski would be happy. Happy time. Oh, just I'm roaming down the lake. I don't really know how to swim, so this life vest is really killing my odds of some pussy, but it's fine. It's fine. My arms look good in it. But then, you come down to, I gotta load them up and I gotta drop them off. And what if it flips over? And, all the stuff that comes with having money, you've got more responsibilities. It's like Spider-Man, Uncle Ben. That's a different recipe. But Uncle Ben in Spider-Man, with more power comes more responsibility. I think if you had enough money, you could have someone drive it to the lake, or you could stash it or stow it at the lake, and then you wouldn't have to worry about all that. But again, I mean, I get what you mean. So yeah, I kind of feel like the only happiness you might get from having money is not struggling. That's the thing that for me would make me happy is living in today's society in America with all the tariffs and all the crazy shit going on. Like, I wish I could eat more healthy, but eggs are expensive as fuck. And pretty much everything else. So I'd be happy being able to afford my rent and not have to stress that, right? I'd probably have less ulcers and stuff too. Coughing up blood, all the other things. But I don't think it'd be long-term happiness. It'd be like, oh, I can afford things? Cool. Everyone I know, I mean, I'm in my early to mid 40s, so like every single person I know and who's a friend of mine is married and has kids or multiple kids or kids on the way. So I'm kind of at that precipice where it sucks. Like I can't go out, even if I had enough money to go out every weekend and be like, oh, I'm gonna crush it at the bars and be like, free drinks, rounds for all. I'm still the old guy at the bar now. And all my friends are married and have their own stuff going on. So I don't even have a wingman. So it's like, but I'm that old dude with gray in his beard. And yes, his teeth are phenomenal. Well, money does buy some things. But like, I'm not going to hang out with that guy. I'm just going to take that free drink and go. So it really is dawning on me more and more as life goes on that just money does not truly buy you happiness. I think people, friendships and relationships of any kind really are what brings you happiness. Because even in my old 600 square foot apartment with my arcade machines and stuff there, if people came over and hung out and played them and enjoyed their time, that would have been worth way more than having double the space in a room that just never gets used because no one's around to use it. It's more about seeing my friends happy and doing nice things for people in my life and giving them joy, I guess. I don't know, man. God, I'm getting old. Yeah, no, death is near. Death is coming for you, and that sickle is sharp. Oh, this just in. Listen, I'm no expert. I've literally not living a rich life. I've never made a single penny off of YouTube, so I can't be like, oh, I'm like a YouTuber. I just make all this money. It's just, I was gonna make it rain, but I just threw a quarter and I'm out. I'm finally at that point where I can live my dream and go travel the world. I could go see London and Paris and Italy and Ireland and Scotland and stuff. But honestly, what is the point in doing that by myself? Like, so I could just feel awkward as shit like I do at the bar? No, like, money might make you happy, but I really do feel like it's a genuine human connection with someone else that does it. And I wish that was something that came easy. The reality, though, is that he only feels a genuine human connection with himself. And it does come easy. Too easy.
Subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell, yo.
Today's episode is going to be one that will blow that mind. No, this needs to be tighter. Needs to be tighter. I can't even reach it. Fuck, I'm too big. It's not what she said.